It was Tom who found the hole shortly after we moved into the new house. It was the oddest thing, this perfectly formed deep hole in the undergrowth at the back of the garden next to the huge oak tree.
Tom threw a rock in and waited. But nothing. There was no sound. It never landed.
We ended up throwing bricks down there, but still nothing. It was like the hole went on forever.
That night, Tom woke with a start, claiming to hear unusual voices coming from outside. He followed the sounds to the hole. He listened to what he described as undecipherable whispers, rhythmic and purposeful, as if waiting for him to answer.
In the morning, he woke me all excited, telling me what he'd heard. I mean, I got freaked out, and by the time I went out there to investigate it stopped.
The following night, Sherry woke and realised he wasn't in bed next to her. She went looking for him and found him lying on the ground next to the hole, just listening.
He was trying to work out what the voices were saying, but then got all angry that they just seemed to stop whenever I was around. This happened again over the next few nights. Me waking to an empty bed and finding him lying next to that blasted hole, listening to these voices. I lost my temper and told him, demanded that we needed to cover that hole up.
Tom promised Sherry he'd sort it. He went out and bought the necessary tools to do so. But Tom wasn't sealing the hole. His obsession with it was only just beginning.
I awoke on that sixth night, around 2 a.m, to him again not being in bed. I looked out the window and I saw him, and he was illuminated by the moonlight, standing over the hole. I remember just shouting at him to come back to bed, but all he kept shouting back was that he knew what they were saying, like he'd finally figured out what the voices were saying.
Sherry raced to the garden and found an excitable Tom wearing a head torch and a GoPro camera. He had one end of a long ream of climbing rope attached to his waist, while the other end was wrapped around the base of the oak tree. He had a maddening glint in his eye.
I asked him what the hell he was doing, but he just repeated the same thing over and over again. They're calling my name. They're calling my name.
And lowered himself into the abyss.
He'd lost his mind. I tried pleading with him.
He kept lowering himself in, despite Sherry's cries and pleas.
I just remember screaming down the hole, demanding he come back up, but then the rope went slack and it was as if it'd been cut.
Sherry pulled up the loose rope and her fears were soon realised. There was no sign of Tom. The rope had been severed.